Ever feel exhausted and burned out, convinced it's because of your high pressure job, difficult boss, or endless to do list? I have been there, but after burning out in my corporate career and then spending the last year as a certified coach guiding my clients to reclaim their power, I realize we're all being sold a comforting lie about where burnout really comes from. So, in this video, I am going to show you the uncomfortable truth nobody dares to say out loud and clarify exactly why you're burned out and show you precisely how to escape this trap for good. Burnout isn't just exhaustion from working too hard, it's exhaustion from repeatedly abandoning yourself. Every time you put others' needs before your own, ignore your boundaries, or push past your limits, you're silently telling yourself, I don't matter. And if you don't stand up for yourself, who will? And let me tell you a quick story. I used to be a chronic people pleaser, and I would constantly go above and beyond at work, desperately chasing approval from everyone, especially my bosses. And what I didn't realize was that deep down, I was still that kid trying to earn love and acceptance from mom and dad. And guess what? My two bosses mirrored my parents' personalities perfectly, triggering all my childhood wounds, and I was projecting all my unresolved issues onto them. And what happened when I worked tirelessly to please them? They simply gave me even more to do. And how could I blame them, which I did? Their job was to run a profitable business. And if one employee is willing to do everything, of course they will hand over more tasks. But eventually I hit a breaking point and I simply couldn't handle more. Yet saying no felt impossible. Growing up, no was forbidden. It wasn't even in my vocabulary. So instead of speaking up, I shut down. Burnout took over, and I felt trapped in anxiety, stress, and resentment. And I blamed my bosses, thinking they are doing this to me. The painful truth was I'd abandoned myself first. And here's the real takeaway. Burnout is your internal alarm screaming, stop abandoning yourself. Your exhaustion doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from giving away too much of yourself, hoping someone else will step in and protect you. Spoiler alert, nobody is coming to save you. The real challenge is self abandonment doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it sounds like I'm fine when you're not. And how do you actually recognize when you're abandoning yourself? Because it's not always obvious. It hides in little things. How do you spend your time? How often do you silence your own needs? And let's shine light on it together. Ask yourself, am I spending my time doing things that light me up? Or am I simply stuck on autopilot? And where am I ignoring my own needs, boundaries, and desires? Healing starts the moment you decide, I will no longer abandon myself. Nobody else can do this for you, and it's time to reclaim your power. But realizing you are abandoning yourself isn't enough because most people stop right here. They become aware, but they stay stuck in the same patterns. No, it's my job, or my boss is causing this stress. So, next, I will show you what's really keeping you stuck and the deeper layer most people never get to see. This might sting, but your job isn't causing your burnout. Your mindset and your choices are. Believe me, I get it. I once felt trapped, blaming my toxic boss and demanding workload for all my unhappiness. And I convinced myself if I only had a better boss or an easier job, I would finally be happy. I know that might sound hard to believe, but I am burned out because of what is happening to me. And that's the story we've been taught, that burnout is caused by your boss, your workload, your circumstances. But as also mentioned in the book, The Courage to be Disliked, inspired by Adlerian psychology, it's not about cause and effect from the past. It's about what you are choosing right now, in the present. And here's where it gets even deeper. Burnout isn't just about external pressures, it's about the shadow. Your shadow is the hidden unconscious part that quietly shapes your behavior, trying to protect you in ways you don't even notice. And if something in your life isn't how you want it to be, it's because deep down, a part of you is still choosing it. Not consciously, but unconsciously. Your shadow might be getting a payoff. For example, someone stuck in burnout might secretly believe that overworking makes them worthy, safe, or irreplaceable, or that saying no would mean rejection, conflict, or feeling like a failure. We can spend a lifetime blaming our job, our boss, and our past. The moment you expose the shadow's hidden payoff, you take back your power and stop feeling like a victim. But how do you do that? Next, I will show you how to expose your shadow's secret payoff. Ask yourself right now, where in my life do I feel trapped or powerless? What might I be avoiding by staying here? Is there a hidden benefit I'm receiving by not changing? So the truth is, if something isn't working for you, it's not because of what is happening to you. It's because on some level you are still choosing it. And recognizing that you always have a choice, even if it's uncomfortable or scary, is the key to reclaiming your power and breaking free. But why do we keep falling back into this cycle of burnout even when we know something isn't right? Because we have learned to trust everything except ourselves. So, next, I will show you something that might feel completely backwards, but it's the very shift most people miss. And that's where burnout starts to loosen its grip. Burnout doesn't just happen. Burnout happens when you repeatedly ignore your intuition, your inner voice, emotions, and your body's subtle signals. Your intuition is like an internal GPS, gently guiding you and warning you when something is off. And here's the simplest way to think about it. You are driving and the fuel warning light comes on. And instead of stopping for gas, you ignore it, hoping it will magically disappear. And eventually your car breaks down. And this is exactly how intuition works. Ignoring your internal warning signs doesn't build resilience, it only leads to a breakdown. And I learned this firsthand. At my job, I was constantly exhausted. And I blamed the workload, tight deadlines, stressful meetings. But today, I regularly put in 14-hour days building this YouTube channel. And yet, I never feel burned out. Why? Because I genuinely love what I am doing. And when your actions align with your passions and intuition, your energy flows naturally and exhaustion fades away. So, what's the counterintuitive truth most people miss? It's not just about doing less. Our brains subconsciously track how many tasks we actively choose versus how many feel forced upon us. It might sound backwards, but To reduce burnout, you need to intentionally add activities that you genuinely choose, like hobbies, creative projects, or simply moments of joy, to regain your sense of control and inspiration. So, it's about doing more of what you choose and pausing long enough to know what that even is. But how do you do that when you spent years ignoring your intuition? Well, next, let me guide you through a simple and powerful practice. This is a short inward journey to help you reconnect deeply with your intuition, with the innate intelligence of your body, your emotions, and your authentic self. So find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and let's begin. First, let's take 3 centering breaths. Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, deep breath in, let it out. And one last breath, deep breath in, and gently release. Let's begin by tapping into our physical body. Tapping into the sensations in your body. What do you notice? Maybe there is a tingling in the stomach, a heaviness in the chest, tension in the back. What do you notice in your body? See if you can hear the language of your body. What is it telling you? What physical sensations do you feel in your body? And from this place, let's move up into our emotions. Are there any emotions present for you? Any energy in motion that is currently moving through you? See if you can go a layer deeper. What emotions are present for you right now? What are you feeling? And from this place, let's move up into the mind. What stories are currently playing in your mind? What stories you tell about yourself or stories you tell about the world? What are you imagining? And from this place, can you see how your physical sensations, your emotions, and your mental stories are all affecting each other? And from this awareness, from this objective awareness, without having to change it, honoring where you are right now, based on what is present with you right now, what are you wanting? One thing. What is your being wanting? I encourage you to say it in your head or out loud. Express it into the world. And from this place of deep self-awareness, and expression. Know that your state will change and that you can always tune back into the intelligence of your being. Every day, pause and intentionally ask yourself, what do I truly need right now? What genuinely inspires me? And listen, your intuition is always there, guiding you. All you have to do is pause and start paying attention. The truth about burnout isn't easy to hear, but acknowledging it empowers you to reclaim control of your life. But burnout was just the alarm. The real transformation begins when you meet the parts of yourself you've buried. Carl Jung called it the shadow. If you're ready to understand what's really running the show and how to change your life from the inside out, watch this next video. The red book finally makes sense. Jung's shadow message wasn't for everyone, where I will show you how to make the unconscious conscious and step into your power.